Hi everyone, Mary at Espresso Press Design. Welcome to my channel. Thank you for joining me today. August 26, 2025. Today we're going to be doing some painted papers, a recycle box, and if you're not familiar, recycle box is practical and inspiring tips on what to do when you're unmotivated, stuck, just plain overwhelmed by choices or clutter, and even your own creation clutter. And basically what you're going to do is start simple. Your junk box is a perfect place to begin. And if you haven't noticed over the last few recycle boxes, what I am attempting to do is clear my junk box because it is getting overfilled with too much junk and too many recyclables, and this includes your things that you might have created in the past you no longer use, recycling them and things like that. So what you're going to do is start simple with your junk box because you won't get stressed. You won't have to worry about using your new paper, new tools, learning new skills, etc. So just choose a few distinct categories. What's on your desk is probably, if your desk looks anything like mine usually, that's just too many choices. So I'll be choosing today 2 different types of paper to do something with, and then I will be moving that to another place in my craft room that I can use at a later date. And the second category is your tools. Keep these simple. Today I'm just going to be using watercolors, but I would add another category if I wanted to, like alcohol markers or watercolor markers. So choose your favorites, ones that always spark ideas or ones that are versatile. Start with your main categories and make as many simple items as you can. And then if you desire, you can choose from a third category, and then you just take a break and let your mind wander and see what happens. See if you've come up with any new ideas you can try. And then if there's anything you don't like, toss it right away. And then make sure that you use at least one of your creations right away. So that's pretty much the general rules of general tips for recycle box. That is something I do quite frequently, and it works for me, and I hope it will work for you. So today we're going to be working on tissue paper, and I'm going to show you how you can get 4 designs from one sheet of paper, tissue paper. Hopefully you're going to be seeing that in full. So this is the painted, and then the second, the third, and the fourth. So when I cut these up, I'll have 4 coordinating papers that I can use with one painting session. So That's what we're going to do today. I did this one yesterday, and I didn't saturate it as much as I did some of the other ones. And here's some where I just did simple designs. Here's some where I tried a Sharpie on dry paper, and then I sprayed it, wet it, and did my watercolor. There's another one. Here's one where I use foam stamps. And again, I got basically 4 patterns on one large sheet of tissue. Now today I have my tissue. Here's another one where I tried a different. I just folded it up like an accordion, and then I just painted on one row, and it soaked through the entire paper. So those are just some of the things you can try. Now ideally you would be doing this outside, because do not try to unfold or mess around with your tissue paper until it is completely dry. Tissue paper is probably weaker than actually napkins, in my opinion. And when it's wet, you can tear it very, very easily. So I have some stacks of tissue paper here, a little smaller pieces so I don't have to spend so much time painting, and then I have to speed it up, and you'll have to sit here watching me paint. But I have all different colors here of tissue paper that needs to be repurposed, reused into something different. So you'll need that, and you'll need some watercolors. Now it's helpful. A lot of times you can do this on a sheet of paper and it will soak through, and then you'll also get a dyed paper as a bonus. And then I have a second category, which is, it does not work like tissue paper, so I had to come up with something different. And this is like the paper you might find when you get a pair of shoes or a shirt box, a gift from a store, and it is kind of, it seems as light as tissue paper, but it's just different. It has a different finish, and things do not soak through it. So here's one I did yesterday, and we're going to do something different on it. But as you can see, it really doesn't soak through like tissue paper. And here's another one it's a little more off-white, but it also doesn't soak through. So I have a second category of material and a second method that I'm going to do. Something I had some plastic wrap that I was doing something else, so that's what we're going to do for the second material. So okay, let's get started. Sorry I didn't clean off my mat. I think I'll do that real quick just for aesthetics sake. But I did this yesterday and didn't think I could come up with a second category, and then I did. My table's also a mess. but we will get it done. Okay, so what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to fold your tissue paper until it's a quadruple fold. So that's one fold, well, until it's a quadruple layer, put it that way. 2 folds, and then when I go in there I have 1, 2, 3, 4 layers. Okay? And then usually I spray mine. Now if you want to use your alcohol inks, spray alcohol inks and some stencils, you could probably do that. You can, as I said, you can draw on this with alcohol markers when it's dry, but after it's wet, the only thing that's going to work on it without tearing it pretty much is a very, very soft brush. So I'm just going to choose a couple of brushes here and wet my paper. And I'm going to wet my paper to start because that just helps it stay in place. And that will ensure that I get everything to soak through. And then I'll be turning off the camera to dry this. And as I said, this is a great little, I'm going to turn the fold this way in case I have to lift it up. Make sure it's nice and soaked. And then I just start painting. And I think I'm going to do some more blue. I think I have enough in the warm color category. So what I do is I just start doodling, and I don't really care if things are running. That's fine, that just helps me fill in more space faster. These are very loose and free. It helps me be more free in my painting. And I just start with a simple flower shape. Something I know I can accomplish. With relative ease. Don't overthink it. So I hope everyone's doing fine. The new camera seems to be working well. And actually you'll be seeing this at a later date. We will be, actually we are getting ready to go back to school. So we'll be traveling tomorrow. I don't know. You know, I can't believe how fast the summer went. I'm going to miss my daughter very much. It's so nice having her home. But it is what it is, right? And the sooner she goes back, the sooner she gets finished. 3 more years to go. Unless she decides to go longer, which I doubt. Okay, so that's my first flower. And then probably I'm going to go with a purple here or a rose color. Don't really have that much in this color. Try to come up with a second little flower here. Do some dots. Press center. Make sure I'm in here. Probably going to switch to a bigger brush to do these petals. Make sure I'm getting enough paint soaking through there. Yeah. So this is, again, this is a good thing to do outside. And just let it dry naturally, because that way the color will soak through longer. And then each successive page will be, you know, more like the first. The longer you let it sit and soak is what I'm trying to say. Okay. I wish I had a cerulean. Let me try to find a blue I haven't used. See if I can come up with a different little flower there. And I'm going to switch brushes here. This brush has too much of a point. See if I can find one where I can just get some dots around there. So this is really giving me some beautiful papers to play around with. Not quite sure what I'm going to do with them, and I probably won't be placing one today anywhere because I don't have a book, any signatures or anything like that compiled, ready to go. But if I did have a fall journal, I would probably be placing some of those warm colors in there. So this is kind of like the painted envelopes. Let me check where we are, and I'll be seeing if I'll be staying quiet here and speeding this up. Oh, we're at 19. So see, even this small one takes a little bit of time. We get another flower in there. And if you feel like you're drying out too much, just give it another spray. Okay, So then I'm going to take an even larger brush. Well, first I'm going to fill in these flowers a little bit. Now that things aren't quite so runny or wet. And then I'll probably outline them too, again. And I'll probably be giving this another spray, I can tell. I think my water had some alcohol in it. And I want to make sure I get this nice and saturated with color, because it's going to dry lighter. And I want to make sure I have a good saturation through to the back. You can check it. Probably better to pick up your folded end. If it's soaking through to your bottom paper, then you know it's working. This is quite beautiful. It's kind of reminds you of silk painting. Tissue paper doesn't stay as vibrant as napkins, but still quite pretty. Okay, I know that's a very saturating phthalo blue or phthalo green, I can't remember. That's a very saturating color. Okay, so I'm going to check the time here again, and I think I'm going to be quiet so I can speed this last part up. I think you get the gist pretty much. So I'm going to go in with my larger brush, stay quiet, and finish this up, and then I'll be back right before I turn the camera off to dry. Okay, I think that's good enough, and I'm just going to set this aside here. I decided what I'm going to do is do the second one before I dry, and then that way I can come back and dry them both at the same time, and then we'll have a reveal. So, well, I didn't really need that paper. It's not going to get covered. Okay, don't waste it. So you'll need some plastic wrap. Maybe it's going to be a good idea to spray that mat, keep that in place. And then what I'm going to do basically is some reverse smushing. I'm going to paint this, and then I'm going to smush my paper on top. And that actually came out pretty cool yesterday. So I'm just going to get some color on here. Not even caring what I'm doing because it's just going to be an abstract. And it actually, if you don't spray it too much, you're going to get all those wrinkles and stuff. So actually it's pretty cool. And then I made the mistake of spraying it too much, and then I lost all that cool texture. So I don't want to do that today. I'm just gonna cover as much of this as possible. I think I'm gonna drop another color in there. It's different places, which I'm dropping in ochre, and it's turning quite earthy. Quite pretty actually. Let's go back and get some blue. Okay. So then I just took I'm not going to misplace my sheets I cut up here. Where did they go? I just had you all in a neat little stack ready to go. Where did you go? Is this it? No. No. Okay, here you are. Okay, so I have one of those sheets cut off to this approximate size. And what I'm going to do is just smush it on there. And basically that's a mono print. Isn't that cool? And then I could try to pick up some more. As much as possible. Now I don't really want to spray that because it will ruin the pattern. I would just go in and put some more paint on it, and then pick up another one. Although maybe what I might do if I wanted to spray it, I would get a copy paper and tint that. Now isn't that cool? Okay, let me try that. Just so I can clean this up. And then I'll get another paper dyed. Maybe in the process, which would be super cool. Yep. Oh wow. This could end up making life a lot easier. I get another one. Blot that and pick something up on the back. Okay, there we go. Back and front. Another paper. Okay. Okay, so that's pretty cool. Let me just quick do another one here. Where are we? 34. And then I'm going to dry these. Let's see if we can get some purples in here without getting mud. See what happens with that. Boy, you could get some really cool abstracts with this. That's for sure. I really like this. Okay. Cover my area there. Get some of that blue mixed in from the previous. Get some more color. Let's see if we can get some different patterns going. See what happens. This is cool. I don't know if they're going to stay. Okay, here we go, number 2. Oh wow. No, they're getting rubbed right out, I bet, but still cool. Here we go. And probably this somewhat waxy finish on this paper is helping pick that up really well. And these are going to dry pretty quick, I can tell already. So I don't think I'll even have to dry those. Okay, that's number 2. That is cool. We got that. And we got a bonus dyed copy paper. So I'm going to turn the camera off, quick dry this, and I'll be right back for the reveal, and then we'll be done. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. So this is the dried paper, and you want to make sure it is absolutely completely dry, otherwise you might tear it when you're unfolding it, especially like where the water might have puddled in the fold. It might stick together, and then as you're trying to open it, it would easily tear. So you want to make sure it's bone dry. So we did know it soaked through. This is a little damp, so I got a bonus page. Here's the back. So let's hope we can get this unfolded. And there is, oh, that's quite beautiful. Quite beautiful. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. So I will get 4. I'm sure I'm going to cut this down. You know, this might make a page in a book. And then I'll use the other pages. So I'm quite sure I'm going to end up cutting all of these down. Let me just show you there how that might make a page. Lovely. Love those colors actually. Together. So okay, that's how you do that. An easy way to create some new beautiful material, and a new way to create some beautiful material. These are still a little damp, and you have some really cool abstract paper there. I'm going to play around with this a little more today if I have time. And let me get my others here for you. Now this is just some ways I've played around with tissue paper. But it gives me another medium to experiment on that I'm not going to worry about messing up. Now that doesn't go too, that goes pretty well together. So okay, let me get a new one here. That's new. Those two are new. Those go nicely together. So, okay everyone, that's it for this recycle box. And I hope it helps you, and I will be speeding up some of that painting. Maybe more than, we'll see. We'll see when we get to the editing. And again, thank you to all my customers, subscribers. Thank you to everyone who's watching the channel. I'm not quite sure how I am going to reconcile thanking everyone. I prefer to thank people by name, customers by name, but I don't know how that's going to work if I'm filming ahead, and I also don't know how it's going to work if I have new products, even though I usually show those in the beginning of a video. So I haven't figured all that out yet, but I will. And again, I thank you so much for your time. You have a great day and a great week. See you next time. Bye.